emotional. I think of Coach Homon not only as a coach, but as a father figure, because of how much he cares about all of us. I'll never forget, I met him my senior year of high school. He came to a track meet, and he saw me throw, and he said, "Boy, you should really throw for Mount Union. You're really pretty good." And I just thought, oh my gosh, I just thought that was the coolest thing, that I had a college coach come and tell me that I should come and throw for him, and I was so excited. I ended up throwing for him for 4 years. Just to say a little bit about how much he cares about his athletes, I saw him last summer, and just keep in mind I graduated 4 years ago. I saw him last summer. He still remembers my personal best from high school, and he still remembers my personal best from college. And I think that's pretty much unreal, because I coach track right now because of him, and I can't remember a thing that any of these girls did. I am so proud of them, and I love them with all my heart, but I have to look at my clipboard every 5 seconds to know what any of their numbers were. And that's just a testament to how much he cares about his athletes and what a great guy he is. A little bit more about how much he cares. I was in his health and wellness class, and he really wanted his students to know how to do the Heimlich maneuver, just in case. So he called me up to the front of the room just to make sure everybody knew the proper technique. He had his hands, and I'm thinking he's just showing where the hand placement, and sure enough, about 3 seconds later, I get a whoop! Everybody's laughing at me. I'm like, "Coach, thank you so much." So again, he cares about his athletes very much, and I think everyone in this room cares about him just as much. And so I just want to say thank you for everything that you've done.
Well, my wife, a couple of times during the shower, I was just thinking this evening and trying to keep my composure, because we all have our funny Coach Homon stories, and I think we could go around the room and everybody has at least a couple. And my story, I think a lot of people in this room will share, it's actually not that humorous. I met Coach Homon my junior year of high school at a cross-country race, I think at Lorraine Community College. And I think I had just won districts and kind of was just comprehending what that meant, because I didn't really start running until late in my high school career. And I met Coach Homon, and kind of the rest was history. I came to Mount Union after a brief stint in the Army. It's funny, I think he taught me more about life in the time that I was here than anything else did. And I remember one time, probably by my junior, maybe even my senior year, and we used to kind of, I think, had a joke between the two of us that I just wanted to be an All-American one time when I came here. And I remember sitting in his office, I think my sophomore year, he said, "Well, you can be a national champion." I think there might have been a goddamn in there, but... So time goes by, and we're in our junior year, and we're riding home in a van from a race, and you just won a Coach of the Year award. And I looked over and said, you got to be pretty happy about this. And he said something that stuck with me to this day, and I use it in business a lot. He said, there's 4 or 5 athletes on this team right now that go to a national championship meet, they score a lot of points, and I get a Coach of the Year award, but I don't really deserve that Coach of the Year award for the 4 or 5 of you, because you guys are going to win and do well regardless of what I have to say. It's the guy that came here that ran 18 or 19 minutes in the 5K in high school and didn't really get recruited by anywhere, and then they run 15 or 16 minutes by the time they're done. That's when I earned this award. And in life, I think that's kind of the same thing. One of my biggest goals, I think, after leaving Mount Union, and I still to this day don't know how things fell into place the way that they did when I was here. I know I owe all of it to Coach Homon, absolutely. But in life, it's the same thing. In business, that's carried over. My success in business isn't, by bringing the most talented guys into my office. It's by taking the guys that don't know they have the talent and showing them that they do. And Coach, that's really what you've done for me, and I know for 150%, I wouldn't be standing, where I am and have the life that I have today if it wasn't for you and a lot of professors that are here this evening. You talk about things that could change your life, and my favorite Coach Homon story is when he found me at the district meet my junior year.
Coach Homon, I guess I'd like to just start off by saying what an impact you've had on my life. When I was in high school, I was a typical high school athlete, kind of played around with track and what have you, and had a little bit of success, but didn't know what it was really like to work. Got here, Coach looked at me and said, "I'd love to have you on the team, but you're going to have to work." And I'll tell you what, the work ethic that he instilled in me and said, "This is the way it's done, you've got to do it this way," it stuck with me. I worked my butt off when I was here for 4 years, and most of that was because of you. And I greatly appreciate everything you did for me. But you taught me a lot of other things. You helped me get through college, which I think for a period of time, at the very beginning, I wasn't sure I was going to do that. But he was always there to make sure that somebody on the team was there to help us, whether it was him or just grabbing somebody. I remember my very first year I was here, he grabbed Larry Reeder and said, "Here, make sure this guy gets a good start." And he was always looking out for everybody, and he did a wonderful job of that. I've taken a lot of the things that you taught me now that I'm coaching myself, and I've been fortunate enough to have some success, but I would have to owe an awful lot of that to you. So I can't tell you what an impact you've had on my life, and I appreciate that very much. Thank you.
July 2010. I just want to let everybody know that Homon always told me that the only reason that I was created was because of him, because a man named Jim White, that's who it was?
That's right.
Came to Mount and then came back and told my mom about Mount Union. And then my dad was obviously here, and then the magic happened. So here I am. And as you guys all know, that Homon has all the stories, and Jen and I got to experience that on the way to and from Nationals indoors this year. And that was awesome. And you said to me that you were going to miss me after I graduated and after you're going to be done coaching track. You're going to be in Maine, and so we'll always come visit you when we're up at Mom's house, Mom and Dad's house. Only on one condition. If you promise, whenever it may be, whatever day, that you come to my wedding, then I'll come visit you in Maine. How's that sound?
I'm Victor Smith, and I was here when Coach Homon first came, and we had a Coach Wesky prior to him. I remember a bunch of us were on an interview panel. We interviewed a bunch of coaches, and they didn't pick any of those coaches. And we came here in the fall, and Coach Homon showed up, and he is a great coach, and I've learned a lot from him. Of course, there are some funny stories. We were standing out on the field once, and it was during a track meet, or during practice, and we were asking him, "Can you throw the discus as hard as you can?" And he says, "Well, I would." He says, "But there's people living over there." I said, "If I threw everything as hard as I could, I'd throw my fingernails off." Again, he affected my life profoundly in a very short period of time. I improved tremendously under Coach Homon. Put me on a weight program. As soon as he got there, I had injury problems up until that point. I was his first All-American in cross country fall that he came, and I thank him for that. And I remember one of the things he told me after the national meet, after the 5,000, took a second. He kind of looked at me. He goes, "How do you think you did?" And he just like, "I need you for another year." And that really stuck with me. So every time I go out and try to accomplish something now, I think, how can I win this versus being satisfied with second? And by the way, he told me how much of an impact he had on my life. He wrote a letter at the end of my time here. And he said, "During the short time that I've known you, I've impacted your life tremendously." If I had you a full 4 years, they'd be calling you Senator Smith. Thank you, Coach Homon.
Being one of a few athletes along with Vic Smith to have been coached by Jim Wesky and the legend, Mr. Homon. Also grateful to last summer being a 52-year-old guy got married for the first time and had the honor of coaching Kathy coming to the wedding. So when I heard from Tom McIntyre that Coach was retiring, jumped on a plane and here I am. So, but Coach, you've been very influential in my life. It's funny, after 30 years, I'm walking around looking at all the changes to the campus, like where's Memorial Hall, and what happened to the greenhouses, and where's Mr. Donaldson, used to be here. But just an impact 30 years ago to realize that an 18-year-old kid could make a big decision about choosing a college. When I got married last summer, I have a 16-year-old stepdaughter out of it. And she just got back from a college in California. And when she went out, I told her it's the most important decision next to whoever you marry, to pick a college. And again, 30 years ago, I just look back now, and it was a gift from God that I was picked to come here to Mount and to be coached with Coach Westy and Coach Homon. But all the best in retirement. We're only 2 states away, so be sure to see you this summer. Love you guys.